Board of County Commissioners now in session. We'll begin with prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Jones, if you'd lead us in prayer, please.
Yes, sir. Father, we thank you today for your hand in our life. We thank you for this time you've given us together. We thank you today for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that only you can impart. Help us today as we make the decisions for the citizens of Franklin County. Lord, not only where we are now, but for our future. We thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda would be approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Sanders. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Next will be payment of county bills.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley, second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion of that? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries also. Next will be Mr. Rick Watson, tax collector update. Please come forward, state your name for the record.
Good morning, Rick Watson, Franklin County Tax Collector. It's always great to see you all. I received a check a few days ago from Florida DEP for $78,000, which is the amount that the state pays for state lands for their contribution. I think it's in your budget, but I'm new to the job, and I saw that check come in. I was trying to figure out what to do with it. I found out. Give it to you. I wanted to tell you, we've got the live auction on Friday, the 26th of May, beginning at 9 a.m. in the grand jury room. To give an update on the bills, tax bills totaled a little over $25 million. In the county, we have 18,000 parcels, about 16,259 are not exempt. We have 1,454 tax bills which have not been paid. When the ads go out, you may have seen one last Thursday. They'll appear for 2 more weeks. Some people come in and pay. So the final number of parcels that will be auctioned will be a little bit less than that 1,454. I wanted to take a moment of personal privilege and tell you about the Rock by the Sea festival we just had at St. George. I helped found that 11 years ago. We had people from 26 different states, 2 foreign countries. We have 2 events at St. George, Rock by the Sea in the spring and Rock by the Sea Light in the fall. We have 3 other events in Nashville and Indianapolis and Cleveland scheduled for this year. But it's an event that's identified with Franklin County, and I think we should all take a lot of pride in it. The event started Wednesday and went through Sunday. Many of the guests that we had ended up staying for a whole week. We were able, the function is for children's issues, and $125,000 was given to the University of Florida for their cancer treatment center. The test for the youth with their trials has been very successful. One thing that happened this year, we raised $55,000. We got a match from the fellow that started AOL, established a foundation. He matched $50,000 to our 50, and then we got another match for Columbia Presbyterian Children's Hospital. We've had children of some of the musicians have received care there. So I think it's a great thing for Franklin County, and I wanted to thank you all because the TDC helps participate in that. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from board members, Mr. Rick?
No, sir, I would like to say something, Mr. Chairman, if I can. Last November, when my son Jonathan had to have his scoliosis surgery down at Johns Hopkins in St. Pete, I seen in the hospital stuff about Rock by the Sea. advertised in the hospital. I just thought you might want to know.
Oh, that's great news.
Because when I seen it, I instantly knew what it was. So,
Appreciate that.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming in this morning,
Okay.
Rick.
Thank you.
Next will be your Department Director's report, beginning with Mr. Howard Neighbors, Superintendent of Public Works.
Good morning, Commissioners. How y'all doing?
Yes, sir.
Everything's going wonderful at this time, so nothing for the board.
Any questions from the board? Any comments from Mr. Howard? He's doing us a good job, bud.
Thank you.
Next would be,
I was going to let you know, Mr. DeWitt Polis from Mosquito Control.
come
needs to
forward,
address the
state your
board.
name for the record, DeWitt.
Good morning, Commissioners. DeWitt Paulus, Franklin County Mosquito Control. Just here to try to get permission from the board to purchase a new mosquito control truck, spray truck. We received some funds from FEMA and some additional funds from Department of Health. And I'd like to take that money and purchase a new pickup.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion? Just a couple of quick comments, DeWitt. So you have the money available in your budget to purchase a vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And if I remember right, you've been coming to the board for the last year or so saying you needed a truck, and we just hadn't had the money to do it. So I'm glad you got the availability to go ahead and get this truck so we can take care of these mosquitoes and provide the public safety, health, and welfare that the mosquito control provides for the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any further comments? Got no further comments? All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you very
for
much.
coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Next will be Mr. Fonda Davis, Solid Waste Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. In my report here, I included the numbers that you told me to bring back to concerning recycles.
Chairman.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen them, I went over them, and we losing a lot of money on that. I don't think it would.
According to your report here, it shows that we're at minus $92,235.55 to provide this service. Is that correct?
That's correct. And that's not the wear and tear on the equipment, that's just the breakdown of fuel, the manpower, retirement, and
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Fonda,
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
salary, you've got 3 employees that's just doing the recycling, and that's all they're doing?
well, the drivers, we have an inmate crew that sorts the recycle, so that's all that supervisor. But not for us, the drivers, we have other things that they use the containers for.
What I'm driving at is, if you've got 3 employees for a total of $93,596 for just a salary, and then you got FICA and you got retirement added onto it, if we were to cut the recycling, then what would you do for those 3 employees? Try to work them somewhere else, or
No
do
doubt.
away with the positions, or what?
Yes, ma'am, I can, like I said, we use the containers for other things also, but Parks and Recs can surely use some help.
So this is what you're paying these employees' salary out of recycling?
No, ma'am, recycling
Okay, so
wouldn't,
You're not, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see where I'm going. Where I'm going is, are we gonna have too many employees with 3 of them not doing the recycling if we choose to shut down the recycling? That's all I wanna know.
yes, no, ma'am, we can, like I say,
Well, when you transfer to Parks and Rec, so your budget, it'll be a budget transfer, your solid waste will shrink by 3 employees, your Parks and Rec will gain by 3 employees.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, the landfill also can use another employment.
That's what I'm saying.
We work in the landfill with 1 equipment operator and 1 spotter. We need more than that in there too, that's shorthanded. But we've been making do, Commissioners. I mean, we could find them something to do.
Oh, you can find them something to do? Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. Okay, so if you're moving them somewhere else, they really don't belong here on this figure.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
If
correct.
So if you take that away, recycling cost us $20,300 last year,
Yeah,
and we made 35. You know, that,
If you-
I think that's what Ms. Sherrill was trying to.
Well, basically, that's what you're
Understand.
doing. If you could taking the salaries away, you're not down that much. See what I'm saying? But,
I mean, I don't think we're talking about just getting rid of 3 people, so if you're moving, the 93,000 is probably not gonna change, is what.
I got you.
think she's
Okay.
getting.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
What are we gonna do with all of this recycling if we cut it out where it's gonna wind up at?
on the roads,
It's gonna be on the road, the woods, I mean, we need to think about this, I mean, really, I know, where's it gonna go to?
Mr. Chairman?
yes.
I have thoughts about it, and my thoughts are recycle, put the smaller recycling bins out like Alan suggested at the last meeting. But not only that, put out only what we recycle the most in the county, whether it be plastic or glass or cardboard or whatever. If we're not, in other words, right here you got, let's do it for instance. Where are you getting your most money from?
Cardboard.
The cardboard?
Yes, ma'am.
So you keep that. Where are you not getting your money from?
Class.
Exactly. That's,
See, that's what I'm saying. So don't do that. You see what I'm saying? I don't know.
This morning, he had three mattresses, 2 TVs, and 5 or 6 crates down here, this one, down here that throwed in, I mean, that's what hurts, it's,
That's what's the problem.
that's the problem, see,
That's what the
somebody's
problem
put
is.
all of that in these 2 cardboard dumpsters down here, I went down there this morning, it's,
And if you don't pick it up, it just continues to build.
and Carabel, the same thing, they got TVs laying out in front, Fonda's over constantly picking couches, chairs, and just,
Well, my thing is that, I mean, we can do what you want, but I don't see it making no money, we losing money. But like I said last week, or last meeting, if we go to mandatory garbage pickup and they got trash along with it, that'll stop some of that. And I'm gonna make a motion that we go to mandatory across the county, garbage and trash pickup.
countywide,
Yeah.
second,
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley, second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on the recycling, I'm gonna clear up something that I think was misunderstood maybe the last time we had a meeting. When I brought up also, and I don't think we need to do away with recycling, first off.
okay.
I know that might not be making money, but it's a good or service that really we need to provide. But when I brought up the issue about the oil containers and about now that you pay to have it dumped or whatever, here's where I'm coming from at, folks. I sell enough oil at the Napa store in East Point that I know is not making it up to that landfill. And, you know, as much as we talk about the bay and different things we do, that's a problem. When I'm ordering, you know, $500, $1,000 of oil twice a week and selling it, and, you know what I'm saying, and it's not getting to the landfill, where's it going?
in the ground.
That's exactly the problem. So if anything, I think we need to actually expand a little bit on recycling. So that's, you know, that's where I was going with that last time, and I think it was misunderstood.
And we have a couple people picking up garbage in the county that does not use garbage cans. They just put the bags on the side of the road. And when they put them out that night, the next morning, it's just all down the streets and people's yards. I mean, if they're gonna pick up garbage, they need to provide a garbage can for people to put their garbage in. Fonda's rode around Carabel, seen them bags just piled up on the side of the road where they, this morning, there was 8 bags in one pile of garbage where no garbage can.
When you're, real quick, when you're talking about mandatory garbage collection, the way that the company that's in here that provides that service wants to do it is they want the county to pay for all this. The county will be responsible for paying the bill. And if the people don't come back and pay their money back to the county at the end of the year, guess what? The taxpayer is paying for
We can put it on
countywide garbage collection. I'm not in favor of the county paying for garbage collection. If you're gonna have mandatory garbage collection in Franklin County, then each individual needs to pay, and they need to pay every month. Not the Franklin County, not the taxpayer. I don't see the taxpayer subsidizing garbage collection for every individual in the county. I'm not in favor of that. I don't know, when you say mandatory garbage collection, you got to do more than that. Because the company that provides the service wants the county to pay for that. Well, they'll pay the county back at the end of the year when they pay their taxes. What if they pay their taxes and don't pay that garbage bill?
Yeah.
Then the taxpayer is liable for paying these people's garbage. And I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to pay no more taxes to pay somebody else's garbage bill.
I don't want to pay it either, like, we could, like I said.
Well,
you put it-
so if you're gonna do countywide garbage collection, it needs to be set up in a way that the individual that's receiving that service needs to pay for it.
Well, we can get a pay station.
And the county shouldn't be responsible for paying other people's garbage bill. I mean, that's what you're gonna come up with, because the company that provides the service don't want to stand around and bill 10,000 people in the county for garbage service. They want the county to provide that service for them and pay them, and then the county has to worry about how they collect their money.
I ain't for the tax dollars paying, people paying it, we just gotta figure out a way to do it.
Well, let me, it shouldn't be that hard, 'cause 2/3 of the county already got mandatory. Got Appalachia and, Carabel, they already, y'all got.
No, no, Carabel's not that away.
Carabel don't have mandatory garbage.
Cause we average about 200-300 bags a month, we picking up off side of the road, me and the inmates. We picked up 61 bags yesterday.
Where does that go, to the landfill?
No, it goes in our city dumpster that we got, that Waste Pro has to come pick up twice a week.
So y'all pay for that, the city
We
pays?
have to pay for the people's yard on side of the road, we have to clean it. It's just thrown out, we have to get it.
Right.
There was 16 bags in the graveyard yesterday, behind the graveyard, 16 bags of garbage. She's seen it.
I saw
In
it.
the graveyard, they put it.
Oh,
And they know we're gonna pick it up back there because it's there.
I believe if you get a pay station, it'll pay for itself.
Mr. Chairman, I thought about a year and a half ago that the board directed someone to be looking into the mandatory garbage and come back. I think we were looking at it maybe in the Lanark district or the Alligator Point district, and have somebody, I know, I asked the question, can you do it district by district or area by area or whatever, and I don't remember us ever having anybody coming back to us and reporting
Commissioner,
back to us.
at one point, I was involved in that, but I don't know that I was directed by the board, because I did meet with some people about
Wow.
the concept.
Well, I know I asked the question, could we do it district by district, because I had Alligator Point wanting to do mandatory garbage and Lanark wanting to do mandatory garbage, but then there were some commissioners, that didn't want the mandatory garbage. And, the question was, could we do it district by district, or do we have to do it countywide? And I pretty much felt like it was gonna have to be a countywide type thing.
Right. The way you get around the county commission and the county budget of absorbing mandatory garbage, and the way you get around it is used by many rural communities who do have mandatory garbage. I don't know how many of those are, but you have an assessment on your tax bill. It does increase your tax bill by that fee, but it's an assessment on the tax bill, and when you don't pay it, guess what? A tax deed is sold. And so the county collects its money one way or the other from the individual through the tax sale. So the money comes in, but admittedly, it changes someone's tax bill by $300 or $400 or $500 a year, because that's what it's gonna cost most likely for service of mandatory garbage countywide. Now, maybe it will be $300 a year, but, that's only, that's $20, that's less than $20 a month. Say Apalachicola is $18 a month now, so I'm just estimating, maybe it's only $15 a month, that's $180 a year.
But is the commission gonna sit here and take somebody's land because they don't pay their garbage
I
bill?
understand.
That's the question.
That's the question, because it would be on
The
the tax.
question is, when the people start calling saying, I paid my taxes, but I can't afford to pay this garbage bill, is the county commission gonna take these people's land? I don't think so. So then who ends up with the bill? The taxpayer. Somebody's got to subsidize this. If somebody calls one of these commissioners up here and the commissioner doesn't say, it's your garbage bill and you got to pay it, or the county's gonna take your land, I don't see that happening. I mean, I just don't. Now, we're all here today, if everybody wants to commit that if we go through with this and we assess it and put it on the tax bill, if the people don't pay it, then we're gonna sell a certificate on the property because they didn't pay the garbage bill, is one thing, but I just don't see that happen.
Chairman,
Yes,
won't we let the lawyers try to figure out something or see how, call the other, St. Joe does it, several counties are doing it.
Wakulla does.
Wakulla does it, and let the lawyer figure out some way to go about doing it before we make it and see how we can do it.
well, we have a motion and a second on the floor right now, so we're gonna have to take that off the table and direct county staff to do what you're asking them to
Right.
do.
Commissioners, can I, so, was it last year, Fonda? When you guys directed us to start these discussions, we have been in discussions with Waste Management and Waste Pro. And this is newer discussions of what Alan was referring to a few minutes ago. They gave us some options, but Mr. Chairman, you're right. None of the companies want to have to bill individuals. They just don't. I mean, Fonda could tell me right or wrong, but they gave us the impression that is an option, but if that's the only option we give them, they might shy away from any bids or, if we did a RFQ, RFP, whatever.
They doing it now.
That.
I get a bill every month from them.
Yeah, they just don't want to have to build every single property
You get a
owner.
number because you signed up for the service, and therefore there's sort of a moral obligation you're gonna pay because you asked for garbage service.
Right.
When you put managed garbage on everybody, some people aren't gonna want it, and they aren't gonna wanna pay the bill, and that's why the garbage service
Okay.
doesn't wanna be in that business.
And then it's gonna be up to the county commission
Okay.
to take their land because they wouldn't pay garbage fee. And I just don't see, I just don't see the commissioners doing that. I mean, I see the people calling and aggravating you, they're gonna take my land because they didn't pay my garbage bill. I mean,
Well, I understand you, I ain't gonna take nobody, but let's
That's-
see if we can let the lawyer come up with something. We got a garbage problem in Franklin
agree.
County.
I agree with that.
I agree with
And
you.
we picking it up.
And we're picking it up right now, and, because
getting
Fonda's constantly, me and him works together, and we steady bag after bag after bag, just tons of it we picking up. The other day at Lanark Village, how many mattresses on that back street? 6 or 7? Just, I know it just jumped out.
Always a problem.
My commissioners, if y'all remember, a few years ago, when the budget was a little tight, curbside pickup was one of the things the board talked about, and I remember the emails that came flooding in, the people who came here and basically demand that you don't stop it, So some of you guys considered cutting it because you had Fonda come up with the cost, and he did, and then, when that day came, this room was full, and I saw the emails, that you guys got. So, something has to be done. Just have to figure out something that's, I guess, one of those things where they say if everybody walks away from the table mad, you've done a good job. This is one of those things we'll have to look towards, I guess, because everybody won't be happy. There's no way. Some
Yeah,
people
they're
don't
not
want to
gonna be
pay,
happy.
some people want it. Kind of like recycling too, you have, you guys talked about it, that started a flood of comments, some people want it, some people don't. It's like housing, in my years in housing, there was this term called NIMBY, everybody wants affordable housing, nobody wants it in their backyard. And that's where we would recycle the same thing. Everybody wants it, but nobody, no, not there, not there either,
I think I said that the last
Yeah,
meeting.
Well, he can get up in the city of Carabel and see how they wanna go about doing it too,
Yeah, because it's not gonna do any good to do countywide garbage collection. The city of Carabel ain't on board.
Yeah, they gotta
And
get
you're
aboard
steady
with
having to
us.
pick this stuff up, and then Fonda has to go dispose of it free of charge.
The city of Carroll has a solution, just like I said, the Apalachicola has a solution. They have a utility bill that goes out to every customer in the city.
They can do it
And they
by
can
water
do it.
bill.
They can do it easily.
They'll pay up when they don't have no water.
The county doesn't have.
Canada had a problem, the city,
Right.
the city option.
Well, I'm gonna take my motion back in, and it don't matter to me, 'cause I'm paying garbage.
I'll take my second back, and I'll make a motion for the lawyer to look over and see our best solution for the garbage in Franklin County.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey to direct county staff, particularly the attorney, to try to come up with different scenarios of how we can implement this.
Second.
Michael?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Commissioner Massey, would you please include Fonda and Mike in your motion to look at that?
Fonda and Mike
as
in the
well?
motion to
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Second,
We have a motion by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockley, directing county staff to get together and try to come up with a solution to this issue. I just want to state, I'm not against garbage collection, but I don't feel like the taxpayer ought to have to subsidize it.
No, I understand that.
That-
I'm
you know,
with
that's-
you on that.
I'm not saying, you know, I'd rather just pay mine by the month instead of paying another $400 at the end of the year.
I watched a
But that's
man,
just me.
I watched a man pull up yesterday to another man's garbage can and put 3 bags of garbage in that man's can before the truck got there.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
We do
but
have a
say-
motion and a second on the floor. Any other comment?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right about the, having to subsidize it or taxpayers paying for it, but in some senses, the taxpayers already are. Because we're picking up stuff constantly all the time anyway. And the single biggest thing is gonna be the way that it can be billed. That's gonna be the single biggest, even if you had Kilbro get on board with it, and East Point sends out a water bill, but everybody there is not on that list. It doesn't include everybody. So when you try to go countywide, that's gonna be the biggest problem. is to
Yeah,
find a way to
and
bill it.
as you've heard, the statement from Mr. Morone and Fonda Davis here telling us that the companies want the county to pay for it, so they don't have to send out 10,000 individual bills each month.
No matter what we do, Fonda's winding up with the garbage at the end of the month.
Yep.
Fonda's getting it.
That's on top of what. we
Exactly.
need.
I see what you do is, you getting it one way or the other, it's coming to you. Whether we have it or not, at the end of the month, you got it.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? That motion carries. Now back to the recycling, Fonda.
Yes, sir.
I took some stuff, a cardboard box to a recycling bin. And the containers look like they about to rust out. That's another issue that goes along with recycling, that these containers that you're using, at some point it's going to have some maintenance done on them, or some new containers or something.
New containers.
The ones that I saw, and another issue is Commissioner Sanders stated, the smaller containers. Well, you put smaller containers out there, you're gonna have to run it more. Because they're gonna run over by midnight, and the next morning they're gonna be all over the ground. So to me, with a smaller container, that's another issue. Instead of running these containers every 3 days, you're gonna have to run them every day,
Right.
if you put smaller containers out there.
You're right, because then you're talking about from one day to the next, both of them was full.
Exactly right.
That what, with the 18 hours or 20 hours, both of them
So if
was
you
full.
put a smaller container, it's gonna be full even
Yeah.
quicker.
But my question, Mr. Chairman, my question is this: how much of it was household garbage and how much of it was recyclables? You know, I mean, do you have a way? You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So I mean, either way, you're gonna have garbage.
How much garbage you actually getting out of the cardboard
I don't
bins?
know.
I mean, do you have any idea how much you get?
I do not, Commissioner, know exact number, but I can tell you over half of it.
Over half of it.
Saying until you
correct.
change people's mindset, you can put garbage containers out there lined in gold. They still, recycling containers in gold. They're still gonna put garbage in it because they see it as a garbage can, not a recycling can. So until you change people's mindset, I don't know what to do.
I know the one you picked up in Carabel, it's over half full.
Yeah.
I seen it. A pure household garbage. They'll dump it and put cardboard over top of it. Like people don't.
That's correct.
think they've done well.
I can tell you what I would do as far as the numbers and the stuff. We're about 2 months from working on the budget. And let's address this during budget to see how we want to take care of the recycling program. What do y'all think?
It needs to be well thought out,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Commissioner Massey and Commissioner Jones
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
stated.
but we can't completely
I
cut it
hate to
out.
see it quit, but whatever you don't have a recycling bin for, they're just gonna throw it all. If you just do cardboard, they're gonna throw everything in the cardboard dumpster. I mean, it's a problem, and I don't know how to address it without having somebody stand there and watch people put stuff in it 24 hours a day. I don't know how you're gonna stop it. I mean,
If you cut it out, Fonda's still gonna wind up with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
either out of the
Still gonna get
woods or side of the road and it's all gotta be cleaned up before they can cut the grass.
Yep.
I know out Bluff Road, there's two TVs sitting beside the road where nobody lives. Like somebody just stopped, put the two TVs on the side of the road and drove off.
Oh, they do that wherever they can
Ain't
find it.
nobody lives
They
there.
doing it at the graveyard in Carabel, putting it out in the graveyard.